Hello guys, how are you all? I really missed you so much. Hope you're doing great. Today, inshallah, we're going to start our first unit in the second term in the ODI book. So I need you all to bring it if you don't have it with you, because we're starting Unit 5. As you can see on the screen here, Unit 5's title is Space. So this is one of the most interesting topics that we can ever talk about. I don't think that there is anyone who is not interested to know more information about space. So let's start our journey together and see what the book holds for us. The first part here, it says listen and read. What can Tom see? So let's start listening to the conversation together and discuss what we can hear. Are you ready? Okay.
Page 56, Unit 5, Lesson 1, Activity 1. Listen and read. What can Tom see? 1,
What are you looking for? Lily said that there was a telescope in the cupboard. I was listening to an astronomy program on the radio today. The astronomer said that a comet was coming.
2,
The astronomer said that the comet was big and bright and that it had a tail. Look, I can see something. Maybe that's the comet. It's moving. Perhaps it's a shooting star.
3,
Does it have a tail? Let me see. That's not a comet or a shooting star, Tom. It's Lily outside with her torch.
4,
Let's see if we can see the comet, children.
Okay, so as we heard here, the conversation was all about a comet and a shooting star, and they mentioned something called astronomy. I don't know if you can remember, but we discussed this word in the first term. Astronomy is the science of outer space, or the study of outer space. And they said that there was an astronomer who said that there was a comet coming. And the boy and the girl kept discussing whether that was a comet or a shooting star. So, to know more about the difference between comets and shooting stars, I have here a video to show you. And that video here is, let's start actually with the comet one. And let's know more about comets and discover what are they. So as we heard that funny guy here, he explained that the comet is just a rock, and around that rock we have particles of ice and dust wrapped around it. And when it travels near the sun, that's why we see its tail, because of the speed. All the dust is pushed behind it, forming some kind of a tail actually. So that was the information about the comet. Now let's see the shooting star and see how is it different from the comet actually. Are you ready? Okay. Or radiations. Okay, it doesn't glow. But the shooting star, it's actually burning because of the particles. When they move so fast, the heat makes it on fire. That's why we see it really glowing when it falls in front of us. Okay, so that was really cool knowing the difference between a comet and a shooting star. Now let's go back to the book again and discuss what we have here. In exercise 2, we have some vocabulary related to space actually. Let's listen to them and discuss each one separately.
Page 56, Unit 5, Lesson 1, Activity 2. Listen and repeat the questions. Then match them with the pictures. 1,
Have you ever seen a comet?
We just discussed that. So which picture is the comet? It's picture B, exactly.
2,
Would you like to go in a rocket one day?
A rocket. This is one way to travel to space. So which one is it? It's picture I.
3.
Have you ever looked through a telescope?
Well, this is actually our way to see what's happening in space. So which one is the telescope? J, exactly.
4.
Would you like to wear a spacesuit?
That would be cool actually as a uniform. So which one is the spacesuit? G, yes.
5.
Is the Earth the largest planet?
No, I don't think so. So which one is the planet? A, yes.
6.
Would you like to be an astronomer?
So as we spoke before, astronomy is the science of outer space. So an astronomer is the person who studies that, the person who studies everything related to space. So which picture is the astronomer? H.
7.
Have you ever seen a shooting star?
So this is D, yes.
8.
Would you like to be an astronaut one day?
This is a cool job. An astronaut is a person who works in space. Which one is he or she? C, yes.
9.
Are there satellites in space?
Satellites, the things that keeps floating in space, sending signals everywhere. What is it? Which picture is it? E, yes.
10.
Would you like to go to a space station one day?
Space station. A space station is something built in space, and it's like a place for astronauts to stay. It's their home, actually. When they spend weeks and months in space, they need a place to stay in. So they stay in the space stations. It's their homes and the places that they work in. So which picture is it? F, exactly. Okay. Now, exercise 3. Listen to the sentences, match them with the pictures in activity 2. We're going to listen to some sentences and match them to the same pictures that we just read now.
Page 56. Unit 5, Lesson 1, Activity 3. Listen to the sentences. Match them with the pictures in Activity 2.
Actually, this time I'm not going to tell you the answers. You're going to write it down on your own. Okay? So let's listen carefully.
1.
This person studies the stars.
Who could he be? We just said it.
2.
This person travels into space.
3.
This star moves quickly through the sky.
And according to the video that we watched, it's not actually a star. It's a small particle of dust, but we call it a star. So which picture is it?
4.
You use this to look at the stars.
Easy.
5.
An astronaut travels into space in this.
So what does an astronaut use to travel to space? What's his means of transportation here? I'm sure it's not the train.
6.
Astronauts wear this when they walk in space.
Their outfit. Okay. Now, let's move to page 58. Page 58. Here we have the rest of the vocabulary that we are required to study in that unit. Actually, here we have adjectives. The exercise says, listen and repeat the sentences. Take the adjectives that are positive and put a cross next to those that are negative. Some adjectives, they have a positive meaning and others have a negative meaning. Let's listen and discuss each one separately. Let's start.
Page 58. Unit 5, Lesson 3, Activity 8. Listen and repeat the sentences. Tick the adjectives that are positive. Put a cross next to those that are negative. 1.
It's complicated.
Complicated, what does it mean? When something is complicated, it's actually more than hard, more than difficult. It's so difficult. It's not easy to be understood. So, when you have something complicated, is it something good or something bad? Is it a positive thing or a negative thing? Exactly, it's a negative thing. So the first adjective here that we have is negative. When you find a complicated thing, it's not fun to deal with actually.
2.
It's amazing.
Amazing. Who can give me some synonyms for the adjective amazing? Wonderful, fantastic, exactly. So when something is that good, is it positive or negative? Positive, of course.
3.
It's frightening.
So synonyms for frightening, what does it mean? Scary, terrifying, yes. So when something is that frightening, is it positive or negative? Negative, of course.
4.
They are intelligent.
Intelligent, what does it mean? Smart, yes, an intelligent person or a creature that is intelligent, just like the dolphins in the picture, it means that they are smart. So this is a positive adjective, exactly.
5.
He's brilliant.
Brilliant. This is actually more than intelligent. This is brilliant, sharp, super. So this is positive, of course, yes.
6.
She's very important.
Important, what does it mean? To have an important thing to do or an important person. It means that that thing or that person matters. He or she matters a lot to you. So, excuse me. So when something or someone is that important, is it positive or negative? Positive, I think, yes.
7.
It's very interesting.
When something is interesting to you, you're really interested in that thing and you want to spend time studying it or looking at it or discussing it. This is positive, yes.
8.
It's very expensive.
When you like something and you want to get it, but it's very expensive, it costs a lot of money. Is it something good or bad? Negative, of course, because sometimes you can't afford it, so you don't have to get it if you can't afford it, and that makes us feel down, I think. So when something is expensive, this is a negative thing. And the last one?
9.
It's horrible.
Horrible or terrible or bad or awful. All of these
Page
are
50.
negative, exactly. Okay, let's move to the fun part, the song. Here we have the song. We have the missing words or phrases in the box. Let's listen to the song and fill in with the right words.
Page 58. Unit 5, Lesson 3, Activity 9. Read and guess the missing words. Then listen and sing.
I met someone really interesting. His job is to travel in space. I asked him to tell me why it was.
let's revise our answers together. Number 1, interesting. Number 2, in space. Number 3, amazing. 4, nervous. 5, frightening. 6, amazing again, because in the box here they said amazing can be used twice. And the last one, brilliant. Great job. Okay, let's move to the following page. Page 60. Here we have a reading part. We have a text here called Ask an Astronaut. This is actually cool. So here it says, match the questions. Let me just grab it here. Match the questions with the answers in the text. Listen, read, and check. In the beginning, we have 3 questions here. What do you do in your free time? What are you doing at the moment? What do you how do you contact your family? So these are 3 questions here. In the text, we have 3 paragraphs. Your job is to listen to each paragraph and try to put the right question here or here or there. Choose from these 3 questions and match them with what are we going to listen to. Okay, are you ready? Let's start listening to what the astronaut has to say.
Page 60. Unit 5, Lesson 5, Activity 14. Match the questions with the answers in the text. Listen, read, and check.
What are you doing at the moment?
At the moment, I'm sitting by the window looking down on planet Earth. The view is amazing. I'll post a photo of it on the website later. I can see the ice over Antarctica. It's hard to believe it's so cold down there, while it's so warm here where I am. You really feel very far away from Earth when you look at it from up here.
How do you contact your family?
I contact them by email. Isn't technology brilliant? I email them 2 or 3 times a week. I send them lots of interesting information about what I am doing. In fact, I wrote an email to them this morning. I woke up early because I couldn't sleep. It's very noisy in here, so I always wear earphones. We have beds, just like you do at home, but we don't have sheets and blankets or duvets. We sleep in sleeping bags, and we have to tie them to the bed. If we don't, we'll float around all night.
What do you do in your free time?
Well, I read and I watch DVDs. I listen to music too. At home, I play the violin in an orchestra, but I can't do that here. Exercise is very important because we have to keep fit. But of course, we can't go outside and do sports. We spend 2 hours a day doing exercise on some gym machines, for example, cycling and running. I'd love to practice my basketball skills, but the ball would just float around. I'd never score a goal.
Okay, so as we heard here, the first paragraph, what's the question that matches it? Yes, what are you doing at the moment? The second one, how do you contact your family? And the third one, what do you do in your free time? Actually, when I read this part or this paragraph here, the most interesting part for me was the sleeping part. That's why I brought you a video here to show you how do the astronauts sleep in space. It's really fun. I really enjoyed it. So let's watch it together and see.
Hi. Chris Hadfield here aboard the International Space Station. We keep busy on board the space station. Long days, lots of work, physical exercise. At the end of it, you're tired. But how do you sleep in space? In order to make it comfortable for the astronauts, originally they were going to put us all in one habitation module.
Can you see how is he floating? And he's acting normally. He's not amazed by this. This is his normal movement in space. There is no gravity, so he's floating all the time.
With sleep stations all around it. But the way a station was eventually built, we have sleep stations inside Node 2, which is in the forward part of the station, and inside the service module, which is in the aft. A total of 6 small bedrooms, sleep stations. Without gravity, of course, you don't need anything to hold you up. You can just completely relax.
This is so
And
cool.
You don't even need a pillow. In space, you don't even have to hold your head up. So you can relax every muscle in your body, and your arms float up in front of you. Your head tips forward.
Wow.
But before I go to sleep, I gotta put on my pajamas, because I have space jammies. I'll be right back. Great. I'm in my super comfy Russian full-length pajamas.
Yeah, and he's flying actually. Floating.
Nice for when you have to get up in the middle of the night. And
Okay, good night, astronaut. So that was really fun. It was actually the same things that the astronaut said in the book. They sleep in sleeping bags and there is no gravity, so they have to stick the bags to the walls or they will keep floating all night. So that's really cool. Okay, now here, exercise 15. Read and match to make complete sentences. Number 1. The astronaut can see the Earth. Which one? Because... Yes, because he's sitting by the window. Number 2. It's hard to believe it's so cold in Antarctica because... F. The astronauts are very warm. Number 3. The astronaut wrote an email because he woke up early. Yes, because it was noisy and he couldn't sleep actually. Number 4. He wears earphones when he sleeps. This is, I just answered it actually. Because it's so noisy at night. Number 5. Astronauts have to do exercise. Because they have to keep fit. And the last one, you can't play basketball in space because everything floats around. Okay, exercise 16. This is actually up to you. Choose a partner, discuss these questions with them. What would you miss most about home if you were an astronaut? Of course, if you're an astronaut and you have to go to the space, you don't just spend a day or two. Sometimes they stay there for months, actually. So what would you miss the most? And number 2, what would you find difficult or interesting about life as an astronaut? So discuss both positive and negative side of being an astronaut. So this is all for today. See you again soon, inshallah, in the next video. Hope you enjoyed it and see you soon. Bye.